see what you're doing there? That is not just you taking a camera and shooting Robin Foster. That is not what that is. You know what you're doing there? You are documenting the history of Trinidad and Tobago.
Could afford to live right just to feel nice. Didn't need no paradise. Now open your eyes.
My name is Robin Foster, and I'm from Belmont originally. I was born in the Port of Spain General Hospital. My mother was Lenore Stephen at the time, and my father was a guy still alive, called Robert Foster. As of, what is the date today? Today is the 2nd of May. Yes, this is the 2nd of May 2017, right? And yeah, so my dad would be 80 this year, Robert Foster. My mom passed away at 74 in the year 2012. It seems my mom was a nurse, worked as a nurse all her life. My dad is a retired customs broker. But back in the days, around the time when I was born on the 4th of October 1960, he was a jockey, in fact. And he was riding a race in the savannah and fell off a horse and broke his leg. And he ended up in the Port of Spain General Hospital, where my mother was a young nurse at the time. And I don't know, maybe he somehow, they hooked up from there, and they eventually, I was coming along, and when back in them days they decided to get married, and there's when baby was coming and thing, like you needed to be married. So suppose I was the reason they got married. After me, there was a girl who I think she survived childbirth, but she didn't survive long after. And then I had a brother who was 3 years younger than I was. He unfortunately passed in 2007 at the age of 43. So that's basically my immediate family. I went to Belmont Boys RC School, and came up along Belmont from a house where my mother's family basically grew up around, because my mother was from Belmont and my dad was from in Clifton Street in Port of Spain, like around St. Paul Street area kind of thing, East Port of Spain. And I kind of grew up in Belmont around my mother's family, which was interesting because I had a lot of uncles. My mother was one of 11 children, and I had a lot of uncles, and they were all involved some of them were involved in sport. Most of them were involved in carnival in some way. Who didn't play pan, they played, and our house was a house where they made a lot of mass, right? I remember being small that my uncles and they, like we would probably have a dog, and the dog would die and they bury it, and they remember where they bury it, and in 5 years when they want to play Juju Warriors or something, they would dig up the dead dog and take the bones and spray paint it and put it through the nose and play mass, and so mass was always happening by our house. Our house was always full of like music and carnival and that sort of thing, right? That's probably that got me kind of interested in that.